We'll see how she goes with me jumping on. A very good start, so that's good. I'll ask her to drop, drop, drop. Nice. I'm going to ask her to stretch to the sides. Lovely. No, stretch, just stretch. Just touch, just touch. And she's thinking I need her to, I'm asking her to manoeuvre around, but I'm actually not, I'm just asking her to touch. Touch. Touch only. Touch. Touch. And she's not comprehending what I'm asking. So I'm just asking a little, there, that's it. Just a bend. Just wanting a bend. This side, we're just wanting a bend. Good job. There we go. So I think she thought I was wanting her to disengage, but if I want her to disengage, I'm going to tap on there. So now she's not disengaging. There we go. Ah, 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 ah. Okay, I've done something. Oh, I just, oh, that hurts. And now I'm getting a pain here. I've done something when I've turned and bent. All right, so I'm going to try and get back on. And I'm back on now. Bit of my history is I broke my L4, L5 on a little pony that I'd broken in. It was not the pony's fault. I got him into a situation he didn't need to be in, and a big giant bird came out of a tree and scared the crap out of him, and resulted with me with a broken back and 4 slip discs in my neck, bulging discs in my neck, whatever that's called. And that was 6-7 years ago, and now I've got to be a lot more careful. I get a lot of things that hurt. I get cramps and I pull and I feel sore a lot more than the average person would. Trot, trot. So if I'm not feeling it and I'm getting pain, sometimes she'll pick up on that and she'll just refuse to go. If I'm really bad, she won't go, she'll just stand. She's very smart. And I'm just going to do a couple of exercises in the round yard to make sure that I don't get myself into a pickle in any way, shape or form. Part of why I lost my nerves riding was that incident where I did break my back. However, I was back on a horse within probably 4 weeks of breaking my back. I went back on and rode Zara and started riding her out in the common and going on big giant rides to make sure I didn't lose my confidence. Unfortunately, the poor pony that the incident occurred on, he was a very flighty, risky pony anyway. I did manage to break him in, but he's just not made for being ridden. So he was retired because, and it was very easy to see, there was some kind of defect happening with him. We don't know if it was neurological. It wasn't physical. He was checked out. There was nothing physically wrong with him. Most likely a neurological problem, but he was very flighty, and with all the training under the sun and all the work under the sun, he was just dangerous to ride. And because I'd broken my back on him, I did a couple of times try to reacquaint with him ground-wise and work with him, and we did a bit of work, but I never got back on him. Although at times it felt like he wouldn't have cared if I did, but I just didn't want to risk myself or him. And that's why I've got to be careful. So today I've had a little bit of an incident with under my ribs hurting, feeling like a big cramp happening. It might just been I'm not stretched enough. I did ride up Zara earlier and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So it was kind of a bit of a shock when that just happened not too long ago. And yeah, feeling pretty okay. I think I'll be right. So I'll start to head out into the yard a little. I'm just being a little more cautious around these areas in case the cow just pops out of nowhere. I really don't need to be jerked about today in the condition my back's in and my neck. Been getting a bit sore. But I'm okay to ride if I'm being sensible. Just taking it easy. I'm just going to take it easy today. Some dragonflies out and about. Now, when she was being broken in, the dragonflies were a bit of a bone of contention with her. She had one that jumped on her and there was a big swarm of them when she was first ridden in the arena at the break. It was the very first time she ever went in the arena. And she did freak out and do this big leap in the air when the dragonflies landed on her. So I'm always wary of that. But, I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but I'm wary that it can. Mr. Friesel, he might decide he's going to crow in a minute, just to tell us that he's there. Ooh. There's chicken. Oh, some chickens are under there. So there's chickens under here. She's pretty used to them being around here. She's used to the chooks being around here because she's always out here eating and the chickens are always under there. So it's a pretty ordinary thing for her to see chickens coming and going from underneath. It's nothing that scares her really or spooks her terribly. She might get a little surprised, but she won't panic about that because that happens pretty much on a daily basis with her. So that's a great thing. Chickens are great at desensitising horses too, because they come out of the scrub and out of everywhere. So when your horse is used to being around chooks, they're less likely to be worried about things that come out of the scrub and bush the way that they would be if they had no exposure to that at all. I'm going to ask you to cross over this direction this time, which is a little different to the way that we normally go. We go usually from the inside and then out into the open space. So it's good to change that up, and sometimes it'll make her get into a spot that's a bit harder to get into. She's very relaxed today. I'm actually feeling fairly well relaxed today. I've got a nice loose rein here. I'm actually sitting a lot more relaxed than what I ordinarily do. We're seeing quite a few different things, and there's cattle over the other side here. And they're the things that'll get her excited when she spots the cows. She's looking straight at them right now. She can see them over there. And we're going to stand. But for me, I'm glad they're there because gradually I'll get to a point where I trust to go over where the cows are and be on her back while that's happening. We're going to look down here and see our goats. Maas. And I'm just going to make the sound that the goat makes. Ma, ma. And Henry. Oh, where's that horsey? Where's that Henry poppet? Henry! It's like midday now, so it's a sleepy time of day for the horse. Yeah, well, I didn't really want her to go too crazily fast right then. So I'm just going to ask her to just be a little bit more settled, unless I ask for a trot. And a little canter, and that was nice. But I did notice I was not seated very well. So what can I do different today that I haven't done? Well, we've got a tray of a car here, truck tray, and underneath this truck tray a heap of chickens. And I'm going to walk. I want her to be near the truck. Yeah, tuk tuk tuk. Again, I'll take my foot out, touch my foot onto there, see if I can get my foot back in, and wool, and wool. So now I'm just rattling away with all this gear. Good girl. Stand. She did well then. Just another thing that she's desensitising to. Nothing major, but just something to reiterate that she can trust. And just get her to trot. And out come some chickens, so that was good. Chooks have come out right then. Got some bugs here. I'm going to go right up, whoa, whoa, right next to here, and again. And I'm literally moving the back of the truck there. And as I said, if your horse trusts you, you can get away with a lot. And they'll just believe that it's okay because they trust that you know what you're doing. And that's the best bond. That's the best way to deal with a nervous horse. Get the horse to trust you. But if you're a nervous rider, the horse also, to some degree, has to trust itself that it's got its own self-preservation. And it knows when and when not to worry about something. Because if you're constantly nervy and you've got a horse that's nervous, it can be a bad mix. I'm lucky this girl's not a nervous horse. She confronts things. She can be nervy, don't get me wrong, but she confronts things and she faces things head on. She's great at quietening herself down. And wool. We're going to stand at the gate while there's some traffic going through. They've got some kayaks and canoes there. Good girl. Ready? Drop, drop. Yeah, drop back. Can I ask her to back up here? So I'm going to ask her to back. Yeah. Now walk, back. Now I'm going to put the pressure on here until she stops and she backs. Back. There. So I don't know, but she just thought she didn't have to go back then. So I put the pressure right on. So now when I put a little bit of pressure on the back, we'll see if she goes backwards or forwards. So hold on. And walk, walk, walk. I'm going to hold her head here until she stops and goes back, back. There. There, good girl. Now I'm going to ask her one more time. Back. There we go. And I'm going to ask her again. Back. There we go. Just so she understands again, because the backing is sometimes the things that it's a bit hard for them to understand, because they're usually, we don't ride them backwards, we ride them forwards. So it's a lot easier for them to go forwards because they're practicing more at a forward motion rather than a back. So back is something when they're a young horse you need to practice a lot, or if you've just got an older horse that has never been taught to back up. And then eventually you just do a little tap, and see, this didn't work then, so I've got to get firm there and then back. Now notice where my hands are. I'm actually having them further down because I want to keep her head down while I'm doing this. I don't want her raising it up. want it down. So when she backs, she's got her head down, because if I'm backing, I want her head lower. Don't want it reared up and raised, because otherwise she back and flip over if she gets to a point where she's nervy. And now we're going to try again. You can use your hands out as wide as you like if you need to, just for this exercise. Yeah, look. And this is where she's realising now, back. She didn't want to do it then, so we're going to stop and we're going to back. Good girl. And it may just been that I didn't back. Good girl. I might not have let go and released fast enough when I asked her. I'm trying to release as soon as I feel this muscle move. There we go. This shoulder muscle, as soon as you feel her ready to move back, just release. There we go. And that's just a really easy way to get her to listen. Number one, I'm trying to neck rein her to this side. She's really a little bit non-compliant right now with neck reining. Oh. Spin that. Now, spinning things are a thing that horses often don't like. They can be quite scared of something that spins. But we have done desensitisation with things like hula hoops, things like spinning an umbrella around, spinning sticks around. So she's not too bad with things like that. What a clever lady you are. Yeah. And she's standing beautifully. Now, another thing that I'd really like to start practicing is, if I'm in a trot or even a canter, like so, that I keep my seat. I'm not flapping all over the damn place. Now, I don't know how well that was, but it felt like I kept my seat fairly well for most of that. And I'm getting better at it, because I was really quite terribly bad. My balance was very bad. A few weeks ago I couldn't balance really at all. And I could feel myself actually staying in the seat that time. So that wasn't bad. That was not bad. There's our chickens. Just hanging there. Not a bad run at all. I don't like to canter towards the box much, because then she wants to hurry up and go home. You always teach her to walk back home slowly and canter away from home, not towards home. And I almost continued that, but not quite. What I'd like to do is also make sure she's willing to go into a circle and stop. Ooh, ooh, good girl. Let's see how she listens to this rein. So see, I'm doing the neck rein, slight tap, just tapping, just tapping. I'm going to come around this way and see what these chickens do when we come and surprise them from this side. Now, she already knows that they're there. Watch out, chook, 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 chooks. But you never know, anything can happen. Good girl. Nope, she was fine with that. Now, my back's actually a bit sore now, so I've probably pushed my limit today. And this is where I need to get my seat much better, or I'm going to damage myself. Whoa. And I really did not do well on that one. That was all over the damn shop. Yeah, not good. So I need to improve myself on that kind of movement. big time, because really not, probably need to practice it on the flat work in the arena, possibly for a few circles in there, and just get myself going where it's a bit flatter and a bit more even surface. Sometimes a shorter canter is a better way to do it in a smaller area. Use your scoop, but I'm just not doing it today. It's not working for me. I'm logically looking at my saddle and it looks like it's where it should be. There we go. So I'm wondering if it's just my actual perception of where I'm sitting, because I can't tell if I'm straight or not. But looking at her neckline, I'm trying to determine if I'm straight. But I really don't know. Whoop, no, I totally screwed that up. She's like, what on earth do you think you're doing? You're not really doing a very good job here. And I'd have to agree with her that I'm really not doing a very good job. I'm probably doing everything but what I should be doing. She's doing her darndest to listen to me and do whatever I'm asking. I'm off today. I'm just not in the sync with her that I normally would be. Glad she's listening. Go up and through the, up and underneath the tank area. Good girl. And there's some kind of bug bothering her, getting up her butt. And it's right there. It's bloody coming at me too. So we might finish up. We'll go over to the house and hop off. We'll walk over slow. Go home, Ellie. So today I didn't do a great deal, mostly because of me and my back. I'm feeling a little bit off balance today. So when I've been trying to canter and things, I'm not actually feeling the rhythm or getting into the rhythm that I need to be in. And that's putting her off. And it's putting me off. I don't want to continue too much further with that while I'm like that, because it can set up bad behaviours for her, and it can also be just very confusing for her. It was just nice to have a quiet ride, and she's been very well behaved, listening very well, done everything I've asked her to do. It is the hottest time of the day here, quite warm. And I'm actually really exhausted, and it doesn't take long out here in the sun to get tired. So we're going to call it a day now. She's done a great job. She's very patient. There's also a fly attacking her on the rear end, so she's been better than I could have expected today. I'm going to mount off the offside, and here we go. Good girl. And she says, oh, thank God you've gotten off. So it was a nice little, she's funny. She gets very happy to get this bit out of her mouth, and she tries to push her head towards me. And I've got to say to her, back up a little bit. It's going to come off, but you need to back up and be patient. Good girl. Now, I know you want it to come off. Got to be patient. Can't have you pushing and pulling on me when I'm trying to get it out. Yes, trying very hard. Now just be patient. It's going to come out. She's a bit impatient today. As you can see, she's like, hurry up. Okay, ready, drop and release. Good. Oh, that was good. So yeah, it was enjoyable, but I am very sore. My middle of my back is really hurting quite a lot. It could even be because I did Tocky's feet yesterday, and that might be, I've twisted in certain positions that I don't normally do, and that's probably caused the issue. Head up, Bubby, just for a second. I can take your saddle off. Yeah, there you are. Ready, bub? Okay. Oh, she's sweaty. Very sweaty. Might even give her a hose. Okay, thank you, Ellie. I'll get you hosed down. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss a single video. Nice and slow. Good girl.